Glory to God. Welcome into the channel. This is Lifted Noise. My name is Raul. So today I just want to show y'all my little workflow process of coming up with some lo-fi drums in the SP. Strictly the drums, that's all we're going to do today. But this is kind of the best way I figured out so far. So let's take a look. All right, so step one in my process, I always definitely recommend starting with some vinyl sample drums. If you need some vinyl sample drums, I have my own pack that I have created and I have for sale up in my store. It's a Teespring store, so you get a digital download. And the drum pack is called Lifted Vinyl Drums. You can get it for $7. And it's a pack with, you'll get a folder full of fills, hi-hats, kicks, just general percussion and snares. So we'll just go through some of the fills here. Go to some of the hi-hats. Some of the kicks. Some of the percussion. And some of the snares. Okay, so I've already loaded up some drums. Got a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, all from my drum pack. Got some rain sounds, kind of the classic, you know, vinyl ambience layer. That's a splice sound. Okay, so as you can see, got my drums loaded up on the top 4 pads. I usually put my drums on the bottom 4 pads, you know, basically put my kick, snare, hi-hat, maybe a variation of hi-hat there. Usually pretty simple for lo-fi drums. So, but the reason why I put them at the top is because I'm going to do some resampling and processing of these drums. And this just makes it easier so I don't have to, you know, be copying back and forth. I just like to have my drums down here because I'm always finger drumming. It's just something that I love doing. So if it doesn't apply to you, then it don't matter. But that's just how I like to work. So this next step is really just my preference and how I usually cut my drums. I chop them a little bit by cutting off the end points quite a bit. I don't like to have much of a tail. Sometimes it's cool, but I just want to cut some of this off and just make it a shorter sample. It's just a little snappier, like with the snare, and same thing with the kick, you know. Just cut some of the end off there. Hi-hat's good as is, I think. Okay, so from here I want to get into the processing. Now, like in other genres, you might want to EQ your drums a little bit differently, but with lo-fi, I think you can get away with some minimal processing, minimal EQ. And mainly the idea is, I think here is just to kind of cut off a lot of the highs, mellow out the sound of the drums a bit, just because that's what a lot of lo-fi is. Just real mellow, kind of in the background type of music that just got some chill vibes to it. So I like to use the isolator. It's easy to grab up. It's got its own dedicated button. I've been using this since I had the SP-404. Now we have some, you know, we got some more MFX. We got some EQs in there. But this is just quick to access. And I know you can also like program some of these buttons as well to some of the other effects, but maybe I'll try that later in the future. But for now, this is simple, quick, basic. Just turn on the isolator, and the main idea here is just to cut off the highs, like I said. So just go through here and trigger these drum pads while turning the knobs and just cutting out some of the highs till I get a sound that I like. I may cut a little bit of the mids here. Just mellow it out real good. Maybe play a little. So I think that sounds good. So what I'm going to do is resample and then select pad 13 so I can get the drums close to where I always like to put them at. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to trigger each one real quick. So now I can click here. What I'm going to do is kind of trim the end a little bit and then truncate it and then normalize it as well. I get a good little view of what it looks like. Okay, from here I'll go into chop. So shift, start, end, and then just kind of manually chop this. Okay, so I'll assign them to pads. I'm going to do these 3. Hit enter. Now I can kind of go in here and trim the start points a little bit easier, a little quicker. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, truncate. All right, so now that I got these drums processed, I'll move into the pattern sequencer. Got this BPM kind of set to a nice slow tempo, 75. I'm going to put it into TR rec mode, so we're doing like the step sequencer. Okay, so if I press sub pad, then I can select my hi-hat. I'm going to start with my hi-hat, and I'm looking at these settings here as well. So I'm going to leave it as is, and then just on the one of the first bar, I'm going to put some hi-hats. Move over to bar 2 and do the same thing. Just slide my finger down like that. I'm going to go back to bar 1, and I'm going to change the velocity and go down to something really, really quiet. I think 5 will do. If I hold shift, I can look at the shuffle. So I'm going to do, let's see, shuffle at 50%. We'll just keep it at that, see how that sounds. And then I'm going to do the start about 75% to the right. So not negative, but to the right. And now I'm going to do these and go over to the second bar and do that as well. So I get kind of a swing feel there. Okay, so I'll exit that. So for the kick and the snare, I'm going to turn the grid off. So no quantization at all. Just kind of use my human feel, give it a loose vibe. Also, since lo-fi is kind of slow, it can be kind of mellow, I'm going to skip a kick. So the kick is going to hit on the 1. So it'll be like, and it's going to skip, hit another snare, and then hit again. So like every other kick is I'm going to skip it. So if that wasn't explained well, I'll just demonstrate right now. So turn it on, record the pattern, turn off the grid, and just go ahead and let's get a vibe going. I may also want to just, from the sound of it now, mix my drums a little bit. So I'm just going to play it and then go into pitch speed and turn some of these, turn the kick and the snare down because it's kind of overdriven, you know, just a little too loud. So I don't got the mellow vibe. So I'm going to turn them down a little bit. So just to give it a little mellow vibe. This is also just a preference. I like to pitch my drums up a little bit higher for lo-fi. Just sounds right to me, so. All right, so that is the video. I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, if you find some value in it, please do give it a thumbs up. That is definitely the best way you can support the channel. I don't ask if anything monetary at all, but if you are curious on ways you can support the channel monetarily, all those links are in the description. You can pick up the sample pack I used in this video as well, and I'll leave that pinned in the comment section at the top. So I appreciate y'all. Till next time, remember, success is not a destination, it's an action. So keep on moving and keep on running with your dreams. Be bold. God bless. Peace.